judged that the risks around the referendum were the most significant near-term domestic risks to financial stability. To mitigate them, the bank has put in place extensive contingency plans. And these plans begin with ensuring that the core of our financial system is well capitalized, is liquid, and is strong. This resilience is backed up by the Bank of England's liquidity facilities in sterling and foreign currencies, and all of these resources will support orderly market functioning in the face of any short-term volatility. The bank will continue to consult and cooperate with all relevant domestic and international authorities to ensure that the UK financial system can absorb any stresses and can do its job of concentrating on serving the real economy. That economy will adjust to new trading relationships that will be put in place over time. And it's these public and private decisions which will determine the UK's long-term economic prospects. The best contribution of the Bank of England, the best contribution we can make to this process, is to continue to pursue relentlessly our responsibilities for monetary and financial stability. These are unchanged, and we've taken all the necessary steps to prepare for today's events, and in the future, we will not hesitate to take any additional measures required to meet our responsibilities as the United Kingdom moves forward. Thank you very much.
Governor Mark Carney of the Bank of England reassuring the market that the bank stands ready to do what is necessary to ensure that there is stability in the financial system, that the financial system operates as it should. A couple of things that I just want to point out. The first one is that the FTSE is back above the 6,000 mark this morning. So we are seeing a bid beginning to return to the FTSE 100. Unsurprising, you could argue, given the fact that we are seeing sterling down so much, and so much of the FTSE 100 has significant external earnings. So we are seeing a big move there. We're also seeing the pound is just beginning to start to stabilise a little bit as well. So that's quite an interesting story as well. So we're now trading on the cable rate at 138.32, well off the earlier floor. We're still down by 7%, but nevertheless, the pound is beginning to catch a little bit of a better bid. But as I say, spreads, bid offers, absolutely massive this morning. So let's talk about the pound. Let's talk about the action that the bank could take. Manus Cranny is outside the bank for us now. Manus, the governor making it clear that contingency plans are in place.
I think he delivered two messages very clearly from this, the Bank of England, the institution. The measured tone with which Carney spoke about what's in place. There's liquidity aplenty. He's been in touch with, of course, Osborne. There's been extensive planning, and the Bank of England will not hesitate to take action. And I think he tried to guide us in terms of our expectations. Of course, we never really know. When New York comes in and this market changes shape again, he's talking about an additional $250 billion liquidity for the markets. He stands ready to do whatever it takes really to defend this market. Now, Guy, the question we've got to ask ourselves is this. Politically, we're entering into a new void. Cameron, we know, is going in 3 months. But the man who's running this institution, he ran the Bank of Canada during a significant period of financial crisis from 2008 to 2013. If there's one governor in the world who has the wherewithal, the knowledge, the tone, and the capacity to deal with this, probably it is this Canadian man. He's dealt with crises before. He knows how markets react, and they are ready. The question is this. Over the next 48 hours, according to Saxo and a number of other institutions, if there's much more volatility, what action will they take in the very first instance? The market is pricing 50% probability of 0.25% rate cut. This is a man dealing with crisis while politics plays out. Guy.
Manus, I'm going to pick it up from here. Thank you very much indeed. Manus Cranny, outside the Bank of England. Now, we're going to talk much more about the foreign policy ramifications now. We're joined by the head of the German Bundestag Foreign Affairs Committee, it's Norbert Röttgen. Thank you very much indeed, sir, for joining us. A shock? What does this mean for the EU?
Absolutely. It's a shock. It's a sad day by historical standards. And now we have to deal with what I perceive as a real catastrophe, the worst catastrophe in the history of European integration. And now we have to contain any kind of contagion. Although it is such a catastrophe, it's now not the most important issue we have to deal with. We are dealing and have to deal with Russia, with Ukraine, with Syria.